It's Vertizi with the No More Black Tears podcast.
Mr. DJ Rose's here.
So let me go over the rundown, Rose. We're gonna have this week in sports, all women the table, TNT, and one of my favorite segments, what's wrong with these hoes?
Okay, that's what I do, man. But first of all, how you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling great, man. Open that bottle of Casamigos. We had Cinco de Mayo last night.
So I decided we made a big batch of margarita with that Casamigos and some Grand Marnier. You know what I'm saying? So we're sipping on that today. So let's jump right into it.
So 2 weeks ago we had the NFL draft. Rose, you got any thoughts on the NFL draft?
Yeah. The quarterbacks that were taken, that was an amazing thing. And then well, we'll get to that in a second, but before the draft, something major happened too. So, but the quarterbacks, Atlanta went offense, was surprising. They didn't go quarterback, but they went running back. That was surprising. But Philadelphia Eagles, them picking all the not all the Georgia players, but picking a lot of Georgia players,
UJ of Philly.
and the Seattle Seahawks, they had a really good draft too. So that's my take on it, man. So, what about you?
Hey man, we had 1, 2, 3 black quarterbacks get drafted. So that's amazing. Black on black on black.
I think in the top five, right?
Yep, all in the top five. First time that's ever happened. We had the Falcons take a running back, and they say he's supposed to be an immediate impact player until about 1,500 yards. And, Jalen Carter fell to the Eagles, and that was probably the best thing for him, man. It was a good draft. I watched that limelight, so, that's all I got to say about the draft. But you alluded to something big happening before the draft?
Yeah, Lamar Jackson signed that record-breaking contract. Was it the day before the draft or the day of the draft?
Day of the draft.
Yeah, the day of the draft. Yeah, he signed that big contract. He didn't get what he wanted, but he got a good deal.
Highest paid quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, and like I said, he's not gonna get that guaranteed contract, but he's gonna get paid.
He got paid, man. I'm happy Lamar got paid, and we got to see 3 black quarterbacks get drafted in the top 5, and then we got to see Lamar become the highest paid black quarterback after Jalen Hurts did it.
Not black quarterback.
Well, quarterback period, and he's black.
Yeah, we need to take that black off the quarterback because we are quarterbacks.
And we the new prototype.
Yeah.
Speaking of black excellence, your boy Embiid has won the league MVP.
Yeah, he did. Do I agree with it? After the fact, no. If I had a vote, I probably would have voted for him. But I think we need to get back to the best player on the best team. But if we would have been doing that before now, then Joker would have won this year MVP. He wouldn't have won the last 2 year MVPs.
Yeah, he probably would have won the first one, not the second one, but this one too.
Yeah, so I think we need to get back to that. And it's funny that I don't know if people are saying it because Embiid is has dark skin, but before when people was winning it, they didn't really care. But I don't know. But Embiid's a fun player, but I'm happy for him. You know what I'm saying? I think he needs to do a little more in the playoffs right now, but I'm happy for him. If I had to vote, I would have voted for him. Who got your vote?
Giannis had my vote. He was the best player on the best team this year, number 1 seed in the East. Well, not just the East, the whole league, and the best offensive and defensive player both ways. But
I forgot about Giannis. My bad. I'm thinking about Joe because he's showing out in the playoffs right now.
Oh yeah, he doing his thing. Like he the MVP of the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, I'm happy for Embiid. To what you said about we need to go back to the best player on the best team. The last, I say 6-7 years since Russell Westbrook won MVP, we've gotten into this narrative driven.
Yeah.
Where it's like, what's the best story?
Stories, yeah.
And what you said, and the last time we gave the best player on the best team MVP was when Steph won in 2015. Well, my bad. Well, in 2016 too, when he won unanimous. But the point is, we need to get back to that, man. Are you the number one seed in your conference? Are you the reason your team number one seed? All right, let's give you the MVP. Now, if you the number two
Number
seed,
one seed in the league,
yeah.
not in conference.
Now, if the number one seeds have great teams like all them years of Spurs was doing it,
It's different.
so let's move to the number 2 or number 3 seed. Are you definitively the best player? Okay, you deserve the MVP. So,
yeah.
From that basis, I didn't have Embiid as my MVP, but I'm happy he won it, because of the fact he's been campaigning the last 3 seasons for it. And to be honest, this was Embiid's best season as a pro, and I'm happy to see that the process is on its way to working. But you're right, he need to do better in the playoffs. Speaking of number one seeds, though, Coach Bud, and for those who don't know, he used to coach the Hawks, got let go. And I was sleeping yesterday. I get a text from Rose. They let Bud go, and I'm thinking to myself, you talking about weed?
Yeah, because I said Bud gone.
Yeah, and I was like, I know you ain't talking about weed, so talk about that weed.
Yeah, I don't use marijuana or do drugs. Well, I do drink alcohol. That's a drug. But yeah, Bud, Wise, So yeah, I'm glad he's gone, man. Because I was just mad that he got that chip because it's like, wow, you had the best player in the league though when he got it. But yeah, I'm glad he's gone. Hope a black coach takes that spot because I think there's some deserving people like Mark Jackson that deserves to get a good team to run. Since Steve Kerr took his and took off with it. But that's all I got to say about Bud.
Yeah, I ain't got no tears for Bird, so I'm just gonna say it like this. I agree with you, Jose. I want to see a black coach get it, and the black coach that I'm thinking about most is Tyronn Lue. I cannot get him out my head. I know you've already told me, Rose, the problems with him going to Milwaukee, but to me, he's one of the best coaches in the league right now.
He is one.
I want to see him have a legitimate chance to win a championship, and I feel like he can get the best out of Giannis. So yeah, I want to see Tyronn Lue become the next coach of the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, if they do have to give it to a first timer, I will say out of all the first timer head coaches that you did suggest, the best name in my opinion was Sam Cassell. He has championship pedigree from his days with the Rockets, the Celtics, and plus he has been assistant coach for what, like 10, 15 years now? Like he's been coaches.
Probably longer than that.
Yeah, he's been an assistant coach for such a long time. He's paid his dues.
And people respect him too.
And people do respect him. So if there was to be a first time coach get it, I know the NBA is not gonna hear this. Sam Cassell would be my choice, man. I think he deserves it. So we talked about a coach that is no longer in the playoffs. Let's talk about what's going on in the NBA playoffs right now. It's only 8 teams left. Yeah. It can only be one.
The Elite 8. Denver looking really good. Jamal Murray and Jokic, they looking really well.
Suns won last night.
Yeah, no sweep for you. No sweep for you. You talking about they go get swept out there? I ain't say nothing. I said I'm gonna let you have that one. But I'm glad it didn't.
It was swept. Close though, man.
I'm glad it didn't get swept. Booker channeled his inner Kobe and dropped 47 on them boys. And Durant, the sidekick that he is, I think he had 39.
39.
It's a little 39. A little 39.
The motherfuckers combined for goddamn basically 90 points.
When I'm gonna get that little $39, I'll let you hold. I don't know when 39 became little.
In the words of the Bible, in due season.
Yeah, so Boston is Boston. They'll probably go come out the East again, which means nothing if they don't win it all. Because like Vertizi said, it's championship of bust for the city of Boston, and they're not going to win a championship this year or anytime soon. But that's all I got. That's all I really got to say about the playoffs, man. I watched a little bit, man, but I ain't. The Lakers are doing good, you know what I'm saying? They tied up. They play tonight, you know what I'm saying? They at home, you know what I'm saying? I might break out one of the jerseys, you know what I'm saying? I got plenty of them. Might. I don't know. But I don't know.
You stay with them Lakers jerseys, man. I respect that, man.
Yeah, I represent. You see, we in the town right now. We in the Hall of Fame. The Lakers. We got Kobe on the wall. We got the Lakers hats. You know what I'm saying?
I count about 5 of them behind you.
Yeah. So I'm a representative. I've been a Lakers fan since Magic. So you know what I'm saying. I never been to LA, but I'm on my way. We on our way.
Yeah, some of us ain't that old, but I will say this: respect to the Heat and Knicks series, but don't nobody care about y'all. So go and wrap that shit up.
Yeah, it's rivalry. They playing right now. What they about to play in 3 minutes?
It's a rivalry that nobody care about unless you're in Miami or New York.
Mm-hmm.
The Sixers Celtics series, man. Sixers, I ain't gonna lie, man. Embiid, you win MVP, man. Show me you the MVP, man. Win that series.
Who the real MVP?
Man, I ain't gonna lie. That boy Jokic might be the real MVP. He giving the Suns the business right now, man. Like, hey, KD, I know you went to Phoenix to win the championship. You're gonna have to wait another year, man, because I think the Nuggets gonna bounce y'all in 5 games, man. But the series that I really want to talk about, because I pretty much got an idea what was going to happen in the series. The Warriors and Lakers. Steph and LeBron. For what, like the 5th or 6th time in the playoffs? They facing each other?
Yeah.
And this one of the first times in a long time that they get to face each other straight up. Unfortunately for LeBron, he's no longer the best player on his team. That's AD.
That's terrible.
And that is terrible because you can see LeBron, he's trying. And Steph, he's the best player on his team, but his team ain't what it used to be the last couple of years when he faced LeBron. Man, game 1.
They deep, though. They still deep.
No, they still deep. Game 1, AD had that 30 and 20. It was beautiful to see.
Mm-hmm.
But game 2, that boy Clay dropped that 30 on their head.
Yeah, he lit it up.
And Steph had 20 and 12, and LeBron had a nice little game. All I want to say about this series is whether you're a Warriors fan or Lakers fan. Me being the age I am now, respect greatness. We will not see this again ever, probably.
Yeah, we're probably not going to see two of the greatest GOAT on GOAT ever to play again because Giannis is going to be around for a while, but
he don't have no real competition in terms of seeing him eye to eye.
Yeah, championship pedigree competition. He doesn't.
So with that being said, whether you're a Lakers fan or Warriors fan, appreciate this series. Enjoy the greatness of Steph Curry. Enjoy the greatness of LeBron. Because for me personally, I used to not be a LeBron fan, but I'm not gonna lie to you. In 2 years, I'm gonna miss LeBron.
Yeah, because once he's out of the league gonna go down.
Exactly.
It's gonna go down.
And as far as Steph Curry, I used to doubt his greatness to an extent, but the last couple of years, he's shown me a level with that series against Boston, and then that game 7 against the Kings. That I was like, hey man, Steph got something that I didn't know he had. So
yeah, I
still got that series going 7. I got Golden State winning because it's something about that championship pedigree, and I just feel like they're not gonna be able to hold Steph the whole series. But believe me, whether it's 7, 6, or whatever games, I'm gonna enjoy every second of it. You got any final thoughts on that?
No, but other than I've been watching Curry since he was in college. I remember I was standing outside the Georgia Southern Arena trying to get in, trying to watch him play.
He played Georgia Southern?
Yeah, they was in the same division.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, Davidson and Georgia Southern. Yeah, they was in the same division back then. So yeah, Georgia Southern and Davidson used to play all the time. So he came to Georgia Southern. I tried to get. I had the game on my calendar the whole year. I tried to, but I was procrastinating on the ticket, so I didn't get my ticket early. Cause I didn't think it was gonna be that packed. But yeah, I was out on the outside looking in. Shout out to MJ and 8Ball. Shout out to MGG and 8Ball. Outside looking in.
Hey, so it's time for TNT.
TNT. Dynamite. Boom.
Tears or no tears, baby. So, 2 weeks ago, famous talk show host, the godfather of trash talk show, Jerry Springer passed away. Tears or no tears?
TPT and TNT. some people might think, what he talking about? I'm talking about Trailer Park Trash. It's a topic on tears or no tears. So I'm not saying Jerry Springer's Trailer Park Trash, but that's what he had a lot of that on his show. So, but I watched it at the beginning when they used to fight, but when they changed it up and when they started doing the hold me back, I stopped watching it. But it is what it is, man. He did his thing. He had his run, and people respect him. So I got tears. You know what I'm saying? He passed away. You know what I'm saying? I got tears. So I ain't got too much to say about it though. He ain't one of my favorites, but I got tears.
The way we view reality TV today, we owe to Jerry Springer. A lot of his stuff, in terms of fans wanting to see the drama, came from Jerry Springer's show. All I want to say is, I used to watch the shows a lot as a kid, and one of my favorite segments used to be the end of the show when he used to always give his parting thoughts. And for those who haven't seen it, go on YouTube and watch his parting thoughts from his very last show. He said something very profound. We all are the same. We all want to be loved. We all want happiness. I'm no better than no one who's been on my show. I'm just luckier. So I always thought about those parting thoughts he gave. So rest in peace, Jerry Springer. You did it better than no one else. So
on that note, do you think those people were for real or were they actors?
I think the show might have started off with some real people, like maybe the first year maybe, but as it went on, they saw how much the drama built, and everything was just fake, you know. And that's why I said he's the godfather of reality TV show.
That's why I stopped watching, because at first it was like, whoa, but then once it got to when what's his name, Steve, Steve was on standby.
Oh yeah.
once he was on standby, I stopped watching.
And like you be saying with the NBA, hold me back, hold me back,
hold me back, hold me back.
So going from Jerry Springer, for those who haven't been watching the news on social media, a young man, I think he was 20, 21 years old, Jordan Neely, black young man. He lived in New York City. He was a street performer. He was most popular for his Michael Jackson impressions. He was on a subway one day, and he was going through a mental health episode.
He wasn't on the subway. He was in the subway
bus.
He was on the subway, or I thought he was like on.
No, he was on the actual bus.
Oh, he was on the subway.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it happened on. I went where they wait to get on the subway.
Oh no, he was on the bus.
Okay, it's train.
Yeah, the train. So he was on the subway train, and he was having a mental health episode. He was screaming that he was hungry, thirsty, and tired. An ex-Marine came and choked him from behind for 15 minutes until he was, till he passed away. And there has been at the moment, there has been no charges brought upon the ex-Marine. Tears or no tears, Jose?
I got tears because you know how subways and trains, what their main purpose is to stay in their lane. They stay in their lane. So if this ex-Marine would have stayed in his lane, and when this young man would still be alive. Because he didn't harm nobody, he ain't taking nobody. All these pranks that people do to things, it could have been a prank. We never know. But if people just stay in their lane and mind their business, things will be a better place. Like Michael Jackson, I say it all the time. Look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. Once you fix that person in the mirror, the world will be a better place. So I feel like if he would have stayed in his lane, because he wasn't doing nothing but talking. So people talk all the time. So basically, you just didn't want to hear him talk no more. So you choked him out until he couldn't talk no more. And like nobody tried to help him, the young man, and then the ex-Marine didn't get charged for, I don't know how long he stayed in the Marines and things like that. But I think it was wrong. I think that, but he needs to be charged with something. I'm not saying what he needs to be charged with. That's for the lawyers and the prosecutors to figure out, and law enforcement. But I think when you take somebody's life, then something needs to happen. Especially when it was unjust and like this situation was. I don't feel like he deserved that, and I think that the ex Marine needs to um, come up and have his feet and his day in court, because I don't know where this young man's family is, or if he was a former foster kid. Because I know a lot of former foster children end up homeless and things like that, because the system is not, it's not built. The system is messed up, and sometimes it's their fault, and sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's the system's fault. But I think we need to figure out what's really going on, because I didn't know he was that young. So especially him only being 20, 21, you know what I'm saying? That could have been one of my kids, or one of my kids' friends, you know what I'm saying? And just getting choked out like that, and everybody on the subway just sitting there looking like that's what he should have did. The ex-Marine should have sat there and looked too. While he was sitting there talking. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna get on my soapbox, you know what I'm saying? And let the SW come out of me. But Verteezy, man, what you got on it, man? Tears, no tears. I already know what you about to say.
Man, I got tears, and you were spitting on Rose, and I'm gonna say this right here. This is a conversation that's so deep. Please listen going forward in the future, because we need to talk about mental health. We need to talk about the homeless issue throughout the country, and we need to talk about colored people, like black and brown people, relations with white people. Because one question I always ask myself in situations like this: had it been the homeless man that was black choking out the Marine because the Marine was having PTSD, would there be more outrage? Would we be upset that a homeless man that
You
was
already
black
know. Ain't no way around that.
choking out a Marine that had PTSD, which is a big problem in the country? Would y'all have heard about it quicker, for one? And two, would you feel the same way that you do about this situation? And if your answer is you wouldn't feel the same, unfortunately, you're part of the problem. And if the answer is you would feel the same, we need to dive deeper into that. So I have tears because we had a young man lose his life. And as you being ex-Marine, you should have de-escalated by saying, hey man, I got a bottle of water, I got an apple or orange. You know, let's sit down and talk.
He didn't have to say that. He didn't have to say nothing to the man.
I mean, he could have not said nothing, but there's ways to de-escalate it, because hey man, when you're homeless, we all go through stuff. It's just could have been one of them days where he's 20, 21 years old.
You know what they could have did?
And he just doesn't understand.
He could have called for help.
He could have called for help too. And maybe
if you want to be involved. But if you don't want to be involved, you should mind.
And maybe the young man just needed someone to talk to. And we don't talk about that enough. You was talking about how we don't even know if it was a prank or not. There was a YouTuber, speaking of homeless people, unfortunately, who filmed himself offering a homeless person food, if I'm correct, but then taking it away, not giving it to him, and he received backlash. Is that correct, Rose?
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. It was at Wendy's and everything, and he got a lot of backlash from it. But basically, what happened, it was just a prank. Yeah, he didn't. The homeless guy, they knew the homeless guy.
They fed him beforehand, right? That's what I read.
So they probably did. I didn't really get into that too much. But I saw it. I didn't really pay any attention. But he received backlash. But on the video, it said that this is a prank or something. That it said that pretty much it wasn't real.
Okay, so on the actual video, it lets you know that this is not real.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that's
okay. That kind of changes things a little bit.
That's what the YouTuber said. Yeah, he said he said it was on there that it was saying that it wasn't real. And as far as because the homeless guy was smoking, he got caught smoking meth when they came back around the corner, and that wasn't planned. That just happened to be what he was doing. But I don't even know why he received a lot of backlash, because people, every time you see somebody filming somebody, giving somebody some money, I always feel like if you got to film yourself doing something good, then you's fake, and the whole situation is fake, and I don't even believe it. So man, I ain't got no tears for the YouTuber. I ain't got no tears for the meth head. I ain't. Only thing I got tears for was for Wendy's because they had to deal with it. Poor Wendy with her red hair. Somebody go get her a frosty.
I agree with you, Jose, man. I do feel that same way. Like, if you got to film yourself doing a good deed, or you have to have the receipts and show it to people. Me and MGH recently done something. I'm not gonna go too much into it, but MGH know what I'm talking about. And only one or two people know what we did. We didn't have to share it to the whole world what we did. Um, as far as this, I mean, if you know that it's a prank ahead of time, I don't see the purpose of having the backlash. And to be honest, even if you didn't know it was a prank, man, half the stuff you watch on social media, TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, and all that other BS, it's not real. It's not real. It's like wrestling. I'm not going to use the word fake because I'm a wrestling fan. It's scripted though. So with that being said, why are you upset?
Yeah, no reason to be.
Especially because I'm not trying to make this a race thing. A lot of your favorite social media influencers that's white do the same thing, and I don't see the backlash they be getting. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Speaking of black excellence again, one of my favorite rappers growing up, Missy Elliott, is going to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. She will be the first female rapper inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Once she's added, I think it will be a total of 9 rappers in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So she's an elite company.
So how you feeling about it? Tears or no tears?
Tears of joy, man. Like Missy Elliott to me, in the 2000s, if you listen to the early 2000s music, you cannot tell the history of rap in the early 2000s or just music in the early 2000s without talking about Missy Elliott. She was producing hit after hit, and she created a sound that was very unique. And I hear a lot of hip hop heads, like a lot of legends like LL Cool J, Charlamagne the God, Sway, and a lot of other people say this rapper's name, and she kind of has this rapper style. She's the female version of Busta Rhymes, and when you actually listen to her music, you can actually hear the way that she changes flows and she raps on different beats. Yeah, Missy Elliott to me is a legend, and she deserves the respect she's getting. And yeah, to me, she should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and she should be the first female artist. Because to me, female hip hop artist. Because in my opinion, she's the greatest female rapper to ever do it.
Okay. Yeah, I got tears of joy too because I don't really consider her a rapper though. I consider her as just like a hip hop artist, um, um, producer, or just all the above. But she did it all, and I think she did other stuff better than she rapped. Cause I think she did more of the other stuff more than she rapped on her songs. As far as like singing and like her taste for her videos and things like that. So but yeah, I got love for Missy. You know what I'm saying? I'ma always show her love. I was listening to some of her music the other day, and it wasn't a lot of rap on it. It was more, more just hip hop is. But but yeah, I got love for Missy. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to her, man. Appreciate everything you did for the music scene and for women of rap and hip hop at all. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, shout out to you. Keep doing your thing. We want to hear some more music from you if you got it in you.
From one female hip hop legend to another female hip hop legend, Da Brat and her spouse recently have came out publicly and said that the amount of black sperm donors is so low, and the quality to choose from is not as great as white sperm donors, and they use this as a reason to justify why the sperm donor they have is white. Um, yeah, man, I ain't got no tears, man. I'm just gonna keep it real, man. Before I even pass you the mic, Rose, because you and me was texting earlier in the week. The bride is too rich, man. She got too much money, man. Like, if she really want a black sperm donor, just the honest truth, are you telling me she can't find a 6'8", 7 feet, 6'5", 6'3" black man that she think is an attractive mode, that has a decent IQ, that's intelligent, where she can just buy their sperm? Like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing here? Like, hell, she could have got Dr. Dre sperm. She could have got one of them NBA. It's a lot of NBA players sperm she could have got, or NFL players sperm she could have got. Like, she didn't have to go to no sperm bank, because if you look at statistics, they show a lot of these lesbian couples don't use the sperm banks. A lot of them actually use their friend's sperm.
Yeah, friends that they know.
So you telling me she don't know no one in the hip hop community, no one in the entertainment community, and people forget the brat. You guess who the brat used to date that was in the NBA, bro? Allen
Allen
Iverson.
Iverson. Mm-hmm.
So nah, man, I agree with what you said earlier. When you text me that, it kind of struck a chord with me. Like, yeah, man, what the hell is this? No respect, no disrespect. What the hell is this whole talking about?
Yeah, man. I don't know what neither one of these hoes is talking about, man. And I had respect for both of them, but I ain't got no respect for them right now. Especially when you said, "Oh, we couldn't find no like," but we still want to support. Man, come on, man. Mix me with all that. Mix me with all that mess, man. Like, y'all got enough money and y'all got enough lawyers to find some black sperm.
Exactly.
If you want the black baby, you got enough money and you got enough lawyers to find some black sperm. So I don't want to hear nothing about the donors. It's 2%, 5%, and the one guy looked like Jimmy the Cricket. Like, come
she
on.
did say that.
Come on, man. Like this. I looked at it. I was like, this can't be real.
I thought it was one of them. I thought it was you about to say. I thought somebody was just playing around.
Yes, because I'm like, this can't be real. Like, are y'all serious right now? Because all the technology and everything, y'all could have built your own sperm. Like,
man, Rose,
y'all could have had sperm made from each of y'all own bodies.
How tall are you, Rose?
I'm 6'2".
How tall are your brothers?
They 6'1.5", 6'2".
So pretty much, besides all y'all basically losing your hair, like y'all all tall, right?
Yeah.
So you telling me it ain't people like
not
your
NBA
level?
Tall.
I'm talking about it ain't people like your level that she could have just went to.
There's plenty of them.
Okay, then that's my point.
There's plenty of them.
It's plenty of regular people like you and me, especially you, because you over 6 feet. All your brothers that she could have went to.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. That's why I threw in lawyers, because money is something, but lawyers too, because NDAs, all this stuff. Like, man, y'all could have picked somebody off the street and said, "Hey, come here. We want to send you to the doctor, get you tested, all of this."
We would have never known. Y'all could have had to sign paperwork where they relinquish all their rights as parents or fathers.
So I don't want to hear that. Y'all want the light skinned baby. You didn't want no darky.
Facts.
So you went and got a white male sperm donor. And I wouldn't have no issues with it if that's what you would have said. But then you try to clown Jimmy and the Cricket and tell me, oh yeah, this and that. Y'all could have did commercials and said, we need black sperm donors. Do you know how many black men would have went up there and started donating sperm in Atlanta?
Because people love Da Brat.
Yes.
Especially in the black, like Da Brat needs to understand. In the black community, we love her.
Yeah, so like we don't want to hear that, man. Like that's ludicrous, man. So man, that struck a chord with me, and it done got me hot. I might need to turn the AC on or something. You know what I'm saying? I need some ice in my drink.
Man, it's the summertime, and we can't be affording to raise the bills like that.
Man, that AC go blow.
Man,
for sure.
That got me thinking. Rose, what's wrong with these hoes?
Man, what's wrong with them?
With that being said, Ebony
Tell me.
Hey man, it's a lot wrong with them.
Tell me what's wrong with this one we about to talk about.
Ebony K. Williams was on her show and she was talking to older black lady. I forgot her name, unfortunately. but she was an educator though, and she was asked, "Would she date a bus
Ivana.
driver?" Huh?
Ivana.
Oh, Ivana.
Hmm.
She was asked by Ivana, "Would she date a bus driver?" And she said no. So then,
No, she didn't say no. She said if he owned the bus.
my bad, yeah, if he owned the bus. And Ivana said that she would if he treated her right, respected her, and loved her.
Hmm.
So then a couple of days later, she doubled down and basically said that that's the problem with Black America. We accept C and D's. We are average, and we're cool with being mediocre, average, and typical. She then went on Breakfast Club and tripled down and said that she didn't care about Black America's feelings, that she was speaking facts about, hey, y'all okay with accepting mediocrity. I'm not. What you think about that?
I don't really have a comments about her saying that but when she said all black people aren't okay with average, but but if you go, I just don't understand when people say they just try to throw black in there. They say people. Some people are okay with being average, but because it's not just black people, it's people. We are we need to get off of these colors. You know what I'm saying? We all people. When I cut you, when I bust your head, when you talking that noise and you come in my house disrespecting me, eh, what color you gonna bleed, Vert?
Red?
All right then. It don't matter what color your skin is it?
Hell no.
Okay then. So we all people. So we need to get away from these colors and all these things like that. But I ain't gonna lie, I'm pro black. I'm not gonna hide that. I support my black businesses. I support my black businesses, and I support my black people and my family. But I think all people should do that. Support their family and people that look like them. There's nothing wrong with that. But we are all people. We're all the same underneath because we can cut it all off, it's gonna look the same. So when you get buried or when you get burned, them ashes look the same and them bones look the same. So I just think we need to get or take that away. But when we just talking about men as a bus driver, so I'm gonna break it down like this. So when you meet somebody, you can probably be on a higher in your life than they are. But when you meet somebody and they're supposed to be your spouse, you're supposed to build them up because you can either go two ways or three ways, pretty much. You can, as a couple, you can elevate each other, you can demote each other, or y'all can stay the same. If you're okay with staying the same, then that's okay. But you're supposed to be pushing your people that you love to do better or to elevate. So that's my whole thing. So if say I'm driving a bus today, but I have dreams of doing something else or having my own driving company or having a team of DJs or you know what I'm saying having a therapy clinic or something like that. I got dreams of doing this, but I just need some help. I can't do it all by myself. That's why you get a partner so you can get help to build yourself up. And then the same way for the man, the man's supposed to be there for the woman to help build her up because two heads are always better than one. Now there can be two stupid heads that might not be better than one, but technically, when you think about it, two brains, two incomes, you know what I'm saying, four legs, you know what I'm saying, it's better than one or one set. So it's like I just think that she I understand where Esquire is coming from, but she was disrespectful by just trying to put black people in the box as average. I ain't like that, and I didn't like the fact that she was talking about she wouldn't date the man if he didn't own the bus. Because who owns a bus? Lots of people do, but when you're starting off, you're not. You got to work your way up. Just because you were blessed enough to already be where you at, you should bless somebody else with opportunities to get where they want to be. And that's all the thing I got to say, man. As relationships, you and your partner are supposed to work together and elevate. Verteezy, what's wrong with them?
What you said reminded me of one of my favorite shows growing up as a kid. my wife and kids. I'm not gonna go too deep in the show for those who don't know, but if you really black, you just seen the show before. No disrespect to those who haven't.
Name the actor that's the main actor.
Damian Wayans and Tisha Campbell. That's the husband and wife. So in the show, Damian Wayans, he owns a busing company. But as you watch the series, it does flashbacks.
It's a trucking company.
My bad, trucking company. It does flashbacks to where he did not own a trucking company. He was a truck driver, and then eventually had aspirations to own a truck company, and it started with one truck. And it shows how he went through that whole process with his wife. And I just want to bring that show because what you just said, Rose. When you have a partner, it's fertilizing your partner's dream. It's helping it grow and maintain. Mm-hmm. Because the person that we are today is not who we want to be in 5 years or 10 years. We all have aspirations to do more. We just need the right people, whether it's friendships or relationships, to help us get there. As far as Ebony K. Williams' comments, Ivana said that's the problem with a lot of, especially black women. We talked about the NFL draft earlier, and me and MGH always talk about NFL draft. And one thing I always say, I compare the NFL draft to relationships. The best GMs are GMs that don't draft finished products. They draft of what you can do in my system. And sometimes that can be the problem. Sometimes is black women sometimes will look at a man and say, this is what he is today. I cannot deal with him because this is who he is. That's no different than an NFL general manager seeing Patrick Mahomes 5 years ago saying, oh, he can't do this. But then you have other women who will see a black man and say, okay, this is his flaws, this is what he can do, but this is who he can become.
We call that potential.
That's no different than Andy Reid seeing Patrick Mahomes a couple of years ago and saying, yes, you see someone that makes bad decisions, I can change that. You see someone that's not always accurate, I can change that because he has X, Y, and Z. And now we're looking at Patrick Mahomes as not the best quarterback in the NFL, but some people saying he's the second greatest quarterback of all time in year 5 of the NFL. So sometimes when you are picking a spouse, you cannot just say, this is where my spouse is today. Because sometimes you might marry your spouse and guess what? They work at Burger King. And then 10, 12 years later, your spouse could be a traveling nurse or a lawyer. And guess what? They only got there because you helped them get there. So when you say, I'm not willing to date a bus driver, what you're really saying to yourself is, I'm cutting myself off from potential people that could be my soulmate. Because that bus driver could be someone that meshes well with you better than someone that's already on your level. And you're a millionaire. Why do you need to date another millionaire? Why not just date someone that makes you happy? Because with you being a millionaire, Miss Williams, you should already know, men that are on your level, they are already looking for, no offense, younger, more attractive, more submissive women. And women that's not going to question why they out 2 a.m. or why they've been gone all week. So if you want to really be happy, find a man that wants to love you for who you are and that you can help build up and help him achieve things that even he didn't know he could achieve. And that's the issue that I have the bus driver comments. As far as the mediocrity stuff she was saying and the C and D stuff, the issue I have with that is this. 80-70% of this country is made of average people. And I was telling MGH the other day, I was watching a 30 for 30 for those who watch the 30 for 30s. Jim Balloon said something that struck me. God must love ordinary people because there's so many of us. And I was like, damn, man, I'm ordinary. And and the next second, he said, every day, ordinary people do extraordinary things. And that's something we forget sometimes. That when that pandemic hit, a lot of ordinary people was doing extraordinary things so that people that live beyond their threshold can continue to do extraordinary things. So y'all keep that in mind when y'all turn down these bus drivers, y'all turn down these people that work at Walmart or do security or that are social workers or work in law enforcement, and you thinking to yourself they only make 35 to what, 50 a year, Rose?
The medical field,
The medical
nurses,
field, nurses, and you thinking to yourself, oh, they not doing nothing special. They don't own no company. They can't buy me no Louis Vuitton, no Breaking Bad.
law enforcement.
You think about that because these ordinary people are the backbone of this country. You got any final thoughts on this, Rose?
No, man, I said what I had to say. You know what I'm saying? I said what I had to say.
So speaking of the backbone of this country, Steve Harvey, one of the kings of comedy, was on Shannon Sharp's podcast the other day. And he made a comment saying that for all you fellas, the problem with y'all is y'all always saying what a woman brings to the table. A woman is a table because she got the ability to create another you, meaning have your baby. So this brings me back to something I was texting Rose. Are women the table? Like, what is that whole concept?
I don't know. Like, I don't think women are the table, but I believe that they're half of the table. So you know what I'm saying? You know how they have those tables that you can pull them apart and then you can put something in the middle. So I ain't even gonna say half the table. I'm gonna say part of the table. So the woman, you can pull the table apart and then you put that last piece in the middle to make it bigger. So that's a woman.
Okay, is she the part of the table or the piece?
She's part of the table. Like
Okay.
she's the piece. The man is the table. So the man, you pull the man apart, and then you put that piece in the middle of the man.
Okay.
You know them tables. You know.
Yeah, I know the table you're talking about.
So that piece that you put in the middle of that man,
that's the woman.
That's the woman.
Okay.
Because if you want to go back, if people are allowed to go back to
biblical times,
the biblical time, well, I don't know who wrote this now, so I ain't gonna get into all that. But they say they took her out his rib.
What you mean? Who wrote this? Guy wrote that.
Who told you that?
DJ Khaled said God did.
Man, he wasn't there. So I don't know who wrote it. So, but well, I ain't gonna get into all that. But yeah, so I feel like that part that you put in the middle of that table, that's a woman. So she's part of the table.
I hear you knocking.
So she's part of the table. So, because I feel like I can only speak for myself. I can't speak for nobody else. I can't speak for all these simps out here, anything like that. I can't speak for you. I can't speak for nobody else. I can only speak for myself. As far as me and how my life goes, I'm a what they call a supporter and a provider and protector. That's all I want to do. I want to support, provide, and protect. All that in between stuff, I really don't want to do that, but I'm going to do it because once we become one in a team, if the teammates aren't working together, then the team is gonna fall apart. So I'm a type of guy that would do anything around the house: cook, clean. I could probably cook better than your grandmama, and I could probably clean just like your mama. And then I could probably fix some things around the house. I can't fix everything, but that's what I work for. I can pay somebody to come and do it. But if I watch them and get the right tools, I could probably do it myself if I have the time. So I don't feel like they are the table because a woman can't just give you a child. You have to help produce that child. Now she can give you one, but it might not be yours. She probably give you about 2 or 3 of them. They ain't gonna be yours. But You gonna start off that way, but I feel like, man, I don't think they're the table, but I think they're part of the table. Um, and Steve Harvey is a smart man. I listen to him on most mornings when I'm out and about. And he has good things to say. Some things I agree with, some things I don't agree with. Um, but I don't have an issue with him. Shannon Smart's a smart man. He's a extremely healthy guy. Um, he talks loud. That's one thing I don't like listening to him because he talks loud. But I just wish he would go back to being Unc instead of being Uncle Tom. You know what I'm saying? But Vertizi, man, how you feeling? I might follow back up with you.
Hey man, so I agree, man. Both of them smart, but let me keep it real, man. I got friends that are engineers. They don't know nothing about the law. And I got friends that know about the law and they don't know nothing about algebra.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you smart, you got an expertise.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been saying for years about Steve Harvey. He says a lot of shit that these women want to hear, but they don't need to hear. And that comment to me was a prime example of you saying shit that women want to hear.
Yeah, he did that.
Because you telling a woman that she's the table because she can produce a child. We must have at least 6 million tables then in this country. Because we got a lot of women that's just popping out babies. But we don't know where the father at though. For a lot of these women.
Because the table's gone. That's what I say. They not the table. They a part of the table.
I'm going by Steve Harvey comments.
Okay, so
we're going by Steve Harvey's comments.
Okay, yeah. I know I'm not Steve Harvey, but
you ain't got no suit like him.
Hey, I got some suits though. I got suits and I look good in them. I probably look better than he do in the suits. But go ahead. I digress. I digress.
So with that being said, me and MJ was talking. What about the women that can't have kids?
Oh, I ain't thinking about that.
Like no fault of her own. She just can't have kids. She's infertile. So does that mean she's not worthy of being a table to you, Mr. Steve Harvey?
Ooh.
Like to me, what a woman brings to the table is important. The table is the relationship. The table is not the man. It's not the woman. It's the relationship.
I'm the table.
I need to bring something to the table. This is Vertizi comments now. You need to bring something to the table. Now,
to my table.
In some relationships, me as the man, I might be the financial component. Because I got plenty of friends. I got some friends who they make all the money and their spouse takes care of the kids, cook and cleans, and provide emotional support. I got some friends who both them and their spouse both work and they make 60% of the money, their spouse make 40% of the money. I got some friends who it's 50-50. It all comes down to where are you picking up where I'm lacking at? I might be holding a relationship together financially, but are you holding the house down? Are you holding me down?
Mm-hmm.
Because some jobs are more stressful than others.
Yeah.
I might be a nurse that works 12 hours a day and I'm on my feet all day. When I come home, does my husband rub my feet? Does he ask me about my day? I might be a correctional officer or a cop. When I come home, does my wife have everything wet ready? Does she run me a bath? And does she understand that mentally I might be phased out because I saw stuff that 95% of people don't see every day? I might be a social worker. And I might need my wife to talk to me because I might have had a situation on my caseload that mentally and emotionally was too much for me. Or I just might need you just to watch the kids so I can go hang out with my friends so I can relax with them. So this whole table conversation comes down to both people have to figure out what do I bring, what do they bring, how do we, like you said, Rose, complete the table.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's all it really is at the end of the day. It's us making sure that we complete the table so that it can stand firm and we can put stuff on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like the table is just the foundation. Now, once we build the table, now we can put stuff on top of it, and now we can have dinner, a picnic, or whatever you want to call it. But this whole, hey man, she can create another you. Man, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I could find 10 hoes downtown, and I can get all of them pregnant within a week. That don't make them all tables, in my opinion.
No, they're not tables, but guess what they did? They laid down on that table.
They did. They laid down on that table, and some of them might have laid down for some money.
Of course, they go lay down for that money.
So that don't make them tables. So that's something that we have to remember. And when you put that false narrative out there, what you do is you reinforce a negative stereotype that we've talked about on podcasts before. Is you have some of these women think that it's okay just to spread your legs open and let a motherfucker just impregnate you and just pop out a baby.
Which is not fine.
And that is not okay. Because when you decide to do that, you should already have something established with an individual before you decide just to have kids with him. Which is one of the reasons why we have situations where you have single mothers who have 3 to 5 kids and multiple baby daddies.
And that's why I think we go touch on this topic another time too. But I think when you're having a baby, I think there should be some kind of contract or some kind of paperwork before that baby is even allowed to be born. Like, because man can say, I don't want this baby, but the woman say, well, I do. But then, so are you gonna take care of it by yourself? Because I don't want it.
You're right. That's a conversation for another day. And believe me, for those listening to the podcast, we will get into that. But that's why this whole conversation about who's the table is such a sticky conversation.
It's not who's the table. He said that the woman is the table.
Bad. That's why this conversation about a woman being the table is such a sticky conversation, because I don't want to diminish what a woman is to a man. Because a man is nothing without a woman. Mm-hmm. Like when a man has the right woman,
the right one,
he can accomplish great and amazing things. Look at Barack Obama, look at Denzel, look at all these other men that Rose sitting across from me. When they have the right woman, they're able to provide for their household, provide for their kids, be able to be stress-free and be happy. And when you come home as a man and you see that beautiful woman in the kitchen or just on the couch waiting for you, and one of Rose's favorite phrases to describe a woman is she's soft.
Yeah.
And you get to touch on her and she's just soft. Man, that's an amazing feeling for a man. And the same thing for a woman. Most real women, I feel, would tell you is nothing like when your man come home and start caressing you, and you can console your man. So, yeah, man, I love Steve Harvey. He is a smart individual. But on this topic right here, yeah, that man was tripping, bro. And as far as Shannon Sharpe, he started becoming Uncle Tom. You right? When that man said, "I want a woman so bad that I paid for her to get a divorce because I thought she was the one," I knew that man was local then. Come on, man. I ain't paying for your divorce because I want you that bad. Nah, bro.
That was a simp move.
And what we always say, Rose, it don't matter if you work at McDonald's or if you got $1 billion. You could be a simp.
Yeah, that was a simp move. But look at from where he from, that country town from. It ain't too far from where we at, you know what I'm saying? But it's country.
Oh yeah, shout out to Shannon Sharpe because he from GA.
You know what I'm saying? It's country, bro.
And I've been in his hometown. And I'd have seen not his actual house, but I'd have seen houses like his house. I'd have seen shotgun houses. Mm-hmm. But with that being said, nigga, that was still a simp move.
That's a simp move. And sometimes you do act kind of coonish. I said, I just wish you would be aunt and not uncle.
Uncle. But I'm gonna close up by saying this. Hey man, I love all my sisters. And when me and Rose, I can't speak for other people in the pocket, but when me and Rose are saying things that y'all may not agree with, sisters, it's because we love y'all.
We want to do better.
We want you to do better. We want you to find the right man for you. We are two black men that understand how black men think, and we're telling you, successful black men, this is what they're looking for. Don't go out here thinking that you can just be pretty and open your legs and that's going to give you a husband. It takes more than that. It takes loyalty, devotion, hustle, hard work, emotional support. It takes a lot of stuff for a black man to feel comfortable enough to say, I want this woman to be my wife. Because believe me, if every pretty woman became a wife, Jennifer Lopez wouldn't be single right now.
Yeah, I don't think she's single. She married to Ben Affleck.
Nah, she ain't married, bro. She been engaged like 6 times.
They got married.
They got married officially?
Yeah, they got married.
Oh, okay, my bad.
In GA.
They got married in GA. Okay,
Yeah,
well, you wouldn't have had someone like Jennifer Lopez get engaged like 6 times and then
times.
broke off them 6 times.
But yeah, but Jennifer Lopez ain't the prettiest woman on the earth.
Nah, she ain't, but my point is, you would have plenty of these women that y'all find pretty and attractive. Yeah. They would be married, bro. They would be married.
They would, but don't nobody want nobody without no motion. So y'all ladies, if you ain't got no motion, get some motion. Because once you got some motion, that ocean start feeling different. You know what I'm saying, man? What like Vert Teasy say? What you always say? You get what? And the words are Rakim.
Peace.
And like I always say, man, I'm back quiet.